I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Good afternoon and welcome to Camnet TV Midday News. The headlines. Mother of one of the abducted victims claims abductors targeted student nurses to help a pregnant girl deliver. Vices against women blamed on the abolishing of the Ministry of Gender. Join me with the details after this commercial.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet television, call the numbers on your screen. Camnet television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Camnet television, not just another channel.
And now the media news in detail. Residents of Kaunda Square Stage 1 and Matero Township will soon no longer have to wait in sewer influent due to rampant sewer blockages as the Lusaka sanitation program close up on delays and other setbacks.
The residents of Kaunda Square Stage 1 in Lusaka have for a number of years continued to breathe the terrible strong stench of urine and fecal matter due to the rampant sewer blockages. Just after Sino Hydro Construction Company came to work on the sewer blockages in the area, the situation has never improved. Here, a restaurant is operating near a trouble spot where sewer blockages have been the order of the day. Another shop is open and the attendant is unmindful of the strong stench coming from this dirty-looking water. Worse still, the residents have blamed the constructor for the poor workmanship and believe the challenge of blockages will never come to an end, and have also claimed to suffer from diarrheal diseases as a result.
Pipes. Bantu muno abantu bali ba mixed tekwe bati bonse kutuba bonfya matishu abengi nalishi baba bonfya fya mapepe imbina fya box mwamwa nomba tuje tuma pipe babikire tu nono tu.
However, Lusaka Water Supply and Sanitation Company is carrying out an inspection together with officials from the African Development Bank, Lusaka Sanitation Program, the constructor and the consultant. The team was also on site working on the main hose, as an official explains.
Bank, and most of the works, as has been seen on the site visit, is complete, and we are currently just doing remedial works to complete the works and have them be in full operation. And so the challenge that we have seen mostly is sometimes we have blockages, and as has been seen, this is mostly being caused by solid waste which is being deposited into the system. This was targeting Kaunda Square Stage 1, and so far we've catered for 2,900 customers who are connected and are receiving this.
Meanwhile, the utility company has called on community members to change their mindsets towards taking care of the sanitation system.
So the problem that we have here to a larger extent is more of a social problem, which has to do with behavior in terms of how people use the system that has been put up here. And that is why, after we identified that problem, we embarked on sensitization and awareness campaigns in this particular area. So we've done a number of road shows, and we deployed community mobilizers who were going door to door to try and educate the people on how to use the toilets, citywide sanitation. So it involves also on-site sanitation. So we realized that a long time ago we were not into on-site sanitation, but now we've moved in and we are constructing toilets in other areas of the city of Lusaka with improved toilets.
He has also indicated that archaic pit latrines in most households that are prone to sewer blockages are going to be replaced with proper toilets.
The contractor has done about 112 kilometers of an estimate of 116 kilometers, which is about 96%. Then the total manuals installed so far is about 2,579 of an estimate of 2,699, which is about 96%.
The team was then led to Matero at the site of Sino Hydro, where the consultant gave their brief.
So the project for Lusaka Water was approved in 2015. So we've been going for roughly almost 7 years. But we have to take into context that there was the 2-year period where we had COVID and it had a substantial impact on the progress of the works. But nonetheless, we had given an extension to the project to compensate for that lost time. So the compensation goes up to December 2023.
On their part, the funders of the project were happy with the scope of works, but indicated they were not going to extend the deadline any further. Titu Kalama, Camnet News.
Mother to one of the abducted nursing students has told Camnet News that the abductors targeted some nursing students because they wanted them to help the pregnant girl deliver her child.
While many questions have remained unanswered with regards to why 13 girls, among them 4 mobile money agents, 7 nursing students and 2 school girls were abducted, mother to one of the nursing students has told Camnet News that a child and other nursing students were allegedly abducted because the kidnappers wanted them to help one of the abducted pregnant girls deliver her baby.
Mukati mwenze wa mimba na bwana mimba atumansuka kuja kukulima muno yake aende pa skulu na eve mpaka ankhala moyo mwana wanje mimba yakwana ndiye kwamba kulia tumanesi papa Gideon kuti tukampapisa swazi kuti aya ni first year or ni second year afuna kapapisa ujaenze na mimba manje mkati mwaona so nyamikira munungu chifukwa nakudya adyako.
Meanwhile, Camnet News also caught up with a juvenile friend to the 2 abducted schoolgirls who was also in the process of being lowered into the trap, and she has narrated how the abductors used a friend's phone to lower her into the trap, but that Zicta quickly moved in and helped track the location of the abductors.
Then after I got here, she texted me around 18 to say we should meet up by Maria Adams. So I screenshotted and sent it to the police, and the police said just play along with her. Then in the morning I texted her, good morning baby, then she told me give me Felicitas' mom's number. I sent the Zamto number, they told me saying no, I want an Airtel number. So I waited, I was around 9, the police came to pick me up, went to Zicta offices, and then we're working hand in hand, the police and Zicta. That's how we left the Zicta offices and went to Central Police opposite Levy.
It is further alleged that the abductors used as collateral phones at the computer of the abducted girls to get a loan of 4,000 kwacha and 1,000 kwacha from a businessman in Lusaka's Lilanda Township, the items which Zicta tracked down and were used to track the abductors.
Like vakaleta vinto vivili ne vikulu okanga like ngati ne mafoni ne laptops ni batani ne mabitonga ndina mante vinto vikulu vikulu so ndina wamene fama masonga. Yeah, apa so the boss langa they also want to fire me because at the vafuna drama zao na due date inasira and I am not still responding to them.
Meanwhile, Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security Jack Mwembo says 5 people have so far been arrested in connection with the abduction, and says police found it difficult to track the abductors because they were friends with some of the abducted girls, and has since called on the general public to continue supporting government in apprehending criminals.
What complicated the breakthrough into this matter was the fact that the perpetrators targeted people they knew from their school days. The Zambia Police Service has so far apprehended and detained 5 suspects in these cases, who include the James Wadia and Charles Kaonga, who were apprehended with the help from members of the public in Kema district in Western Province.
Other information that has been availed to Camnet News is that 2 witch doctors were also involved in the abductions. Camnet News will continue to monitor how matters will unfold. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Former ambassador to Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, Sweden, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, Reverend Edith Mtale, has condemned the 2 top women, being the Vice President Mtale Nalmango and the First Lady Mtinta Hichilema. In an interview with Camnet TV, Reverend Mtale explains that the 2 female leaders ought to take deliberate steps towards the ills against women.
The abduction and rescue of Pamela Chisopa and 12 other young females has continued to raise debate among various stakeholders who feel the women's voice has declined, hence having such incidences against women. The removal of the gender ministry by the United Party for National Development also comes into the picture when matters involving women are being addressed. For a year now, the Ministry of Gender was abolished and turned into a division under the office of the President. In an interview, former ambassador to Denmark, Reverend Edith Mtale, notes with sadness that the top 2 women in Zambia, being the Vice President and the First Lady's stance of being mute on this matter, is shocking. She says the First Lady is the mother of the nation and that it was expected that she takes a clear stance and speaks strongly against any form of abuse against women, especially on the abduction matter.
As a mother, I speak as a woman. I speak as a woman of God. So what is the role of even Mtale Nalmango in Parliament, where she is today? How does it sit with her to hear that 13 girls have been rescued? Didn't she know anything about this? And even when this thing happened, we've never heard her voice. Where is she? You see, these are the reasons why people are not happy with the abolition of the gender ministry. Because if we had gender ministry, I'm sure the minister would have said something about this. Also, where is the First Lady? I have never heard her say anything about this thing. She needs to come out. That is the person we are calling the mother of the nation. What does the mother of the nation mean? It means she needs to speak on behalf of women as a mother and speak on behalf of everybody, but more so as a woman herself, the First Lady. We need to hear her voice on this thing.
And Reverend Mtale is also disappointed in the police and its management of this matter.
I'm disappointed with Bakajoba. What type of a general are you who can keep quiet? Pamela has been in that place for 6 months, and they are telling us, no, she's still alive. But surely, are you telling me that the police don't have the means to find out what is happening? They were telling us that Pamela's boyfriend was being telephoned by this same person. Wouldn't they know the location of the people who were calling them? Wouldn't they know where this, whose telephone is this? Very, very disappointed. I've never ever heard anything like this in my whole life that I have lived. And you say we have a police force or a police service in this country who cannot trace this thing. Very disappointed. Mbakajo, I'm disappointed in you.
Pamela Chisopa was abducted in April 2022 and was rescued by alert neighbors and police officers in Lusaka's Chalala area last Monday. Sharon Kalimbula, Camnet News, Lusaka.
A taxi driver in Lusaka escaped being lynched to death by an angry mob along Kamloops Road Wednesday morning after being accused of attempting to kidnap a customer.
Citizens are on edge after the recent rescue of 13 abducted girls in Lusaka's Chalala compound, as this has shown that there is no limit to the crimes that some people can undertake. Wednesday morning, the cries for help from a woman in a taxi along Ali Kinkata Road in Lusaka attracted crowds who commanded the driver to open the door and let the woman out, as she was screaming that she was being kidnapped. The angry mob also forced the boot open, as some suspected that the driver may have had someone in the back. However, only a suitcase was discovered in the boot.
I booked him. When we started
One resident then took over the driver's seat, pushing the driver to the front seat, and drove the vehicle to Kalinga police post for fear that the driver may be killed by the mob. It was later discovered that the woman in the taxi was not familiar with the place she was going, hence ended up going further than anticipated when the taxi driver asked her for a 20 kwacha to top up. Upon refusing to top up, it is said that the driver threatened to take her to some unknown place to teach her a lesson, which resulted in her screaming, while the driver insists that he only wanted his full pay.
It's like monga is like what's my name nipenangu then manje katisa kwatka kalimpira kono neacha drama mzaikira kwa drama ya nene zinakamba ya chepa so manje monga mwana mtresana misunderstanding then manje the driver kuita visa moto kwa chakazi kwa blood kama heo.
Meanwhile, Kalingalinga wa 36 councillor Mukubesa Nyoni, who rushed to the scene, has also spoken out.
So the driver was speaking to one of the two, either the driver or the woman was speaking to a certain man who knew the direction. So in that argument of where they were going, that is when the woman got scared and started screaming. So in conclusion, the woman was just scared for her life.
By broadcast time, the driver was still being held at Kalingalinga police post to protect him from the mobs who were waiting for him outside. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Well, that news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Midday News, but before we go, here are the headlines once again. Mother to one of the abducted victims claims abductors targeted nursing students to help a pregnant girl deliver. Vices against women blamed on the abolishing of the Ministry of Gender. Thank you for watching. I am Precious Mzeya Sakaleji. Pleasant viewing. Good afternoon.